Police have identified the body of a pregnant woman found inside a White Oak apartment on Oakleaf Drive, that's in Silver Spring. This woman's name, Denise Middleton. Police believe the 26-year-old was killed by Torrey Moore back in October.
So last week, police found Middleton's body inside of Moore's bedroom. Officers searched Moore's home after he was arrested for shooting and killing a convenience store employee. Moore is charged in the woman's death and for the unborn baby.
He literally lived across the street inside of this apartment complex, and when they went in to arrest him, well, they made a gruesome discovery.
They discovered a deceased female on the floor in an advanced stage of decomposition. He also told detectives that he was in a relationship with a female who was pregnant, the female who was found inside of the apartment.
Her name was Denise Middleton, 26 years old. A Maryland girl with a laugh so infectious her family said it lit up every room she walked into. She loved fashion, hair, and makeup. She could put together an outfit out of practically nothing and make it look like she stepped off a runway. She gave out compliments the way most people breathe, freely, naturally, without thinking twice. If she ever had a disagreement with you, she was the one who made sure things were right again. That was Denise. And in October 2022, she was weeks away from a moment she had been waiting for her whole life, becoming a mother. She was 38 weeks pregnant, 8.5 months. The baby's name was already chosen, Ezekiel. She had told everyone who would listen how excited she was. Her cousin Tempress had a son too, and Denise would say to her, "We're going to be boy moms."
When we heard how badly decomposed her body was, it was just unbelievable to believe that we had been living our lives for that long and not knowing that she was dead.
Tempress Middleton says she grew up in the same household as Denise, and they were more like sisters than cousins and couldn't wait to be boy moms together.
She was already there in her mind, holding him, raising him, loving him. That was the life Denise Middleton was living. That was the future she was walking toward. And then on the evening of October 9th, 2022, she walked into an apartment building in Silver Spring, Maryland, and she never walked back out. But here is the part that will stay with you long after this video ends. Nobody reported her missing. Nobody called the police. Nobody raised an alarm. Denise Middleton was gone from this earth, and the world just kept moving. Her family was going about their daily lives, completely unaware. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into over a month. And the one person who knew exactly where she was, the one person who knew exactly what had happened to her, was still breathing, still moving, still living in that same apartment, right alongside her body.
A good explanation would have been good, yeah. I would have liked to hear him why, or why couldn't he call me, because he had my number. But, you know, that's something that he kept to himself, you know.
Before we go any further, drop your location in the comments right now. Where in the world are you watching from? This story needs to be heard in every city, every country, every corner of this earth. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, because we don't let stories like Denise's get buried in silence. Stay with me, because what comes next is going to shake you to your core.
The Maryland man convicted of murdering his pregnant girlfriend, their unborn child, and a convenience store clerk will likely spend the rest of his life in prison. Today, a Montgomery County Circuit Court judge sentenced Torrey Moore to 3 consecutive life sentences. It is the first time someone in the county was convicted of killing a viable fetus. News 4's Walter Morris has the story. A warning, the details are disturbing.
More than 2 years after a violent killing in this Montgomery County convenience store and a disturbing discovery of a pregnant woman's decomposing corpse across the street, the man convicted of the crimes, Torrey Damien Moore, learning his fate.
He was convicted of 3 counts of first-degree murder, and Judge McGuckian gave him a sentence of life for each of the 3 murders.
Joined by the victim's family, state's attorney John McCarthy applauding the judge's sentence, saying this is the first time someone has been convicted of killing a viable fetus in Montgomery County. Prosecutors say there was a history of domestic violence.
The child turned out to be the defendant's child.
Investigators say it all started in December 2022 here at the Decaying convenience store on New Hampshire Avenue when Moore got into a deadly altercation with Ayalu Wandamu, shooting the clerk and taking off. Not long after, investigators tracking down the 34-year-old at his apartment across the street where they discovered Denise Middleton's decomposing body. Prosecutors say she had been there for about 2 months.
Denise Middleton was 8.5 months pregnant. Her child was due to be born in 2 weeks.
During the trial, this surveillance video from the apartment complex entered as evidence. Prosecutors say it captures the last moments Middleton was seen alive in October 2022.
Don't move. Stay right there. Don't move.
The state's attorney also showing this body camera video of Moore's arrest. They say after Middleton's murder, he left town for weeks and came back, even looking up ways to cover up his crime.
He did computer searches, both on his phone and other, to find out about, well, how long does it take before a body begins to smell? How do you cover up and defend yourself for murder charges? He was Googling different things to set up a defense.
Prosecutors say Moore stayed quiet during his sentencing, offering no explanation for the violent crimes.
I would have liked to hear why, or why couldn't he call me, because he had my number. But, you know, that's something that he kept to himself.
And the state's attorney says Moore used the same gun for all of the murders. He will also serve an 80-year concurrent sentence for a long list of other charges. In Rockville, Walter Morris, News 4.
Tonight, a Silver Spring man sentenced to 3 life sentences after killing a store clerk, his girlfriend, and her unborn child. Kenneth Moten joining us in studio with the triple murder investigation, Kenneth, that has several twists and turns here.
Yeah, 2 separate murder scenes, Sharon, about 2 months apart in Montgomery County. Today, Torrey Moore sentenced for both. The background here, prosecutors say, caught in dramatic surveillance video December 2022, Moore shot and killed a cashier at a convenience store on New Hampshire Avenue in Silver Spring. There was a dispute and Moore opened fire on the 61-year-old man in an execution-style murder. Just incredible. When police tracked Moore down across the street inside his apartment, they also made a gruesome discovery. His girlfriend, Denise Middleton, dead. Her body mummified, and she had been 8 months pregnant before investigators believe Moore gunned her down in October. Elevator cameras captured the last time she was seen alive. Today, her family appreciative of the work of investigators.
I'm very satisfied with what the state's attorneys did. I appreciate their work. They did work. The detectives did good work. And I'm very proud that we got justice. And rest in peace.
But clearly, this man posed a grave danger to the community. And I think the sentence that the judge gave was absolutely appropriate.
The state's attorney took advantage of a new Maryland statute. This case marked the first time anyone has ever been convicted of killing a viable fetus in Montgomery County. Homa.
This is what police say they know for sure. Sometime around 3 Thursday afternoon at this gas station on this busy stretch of New Hampshire Avenue near Columbia Pike, someone got into a fight with the clerk working the register and shot him. Police say the clerk was hit in the chest and killed. Fred Souls runs a nearby business and says he knows many of the employees at this gas station.
They're young kids. They just, they work hard. They came here to do a living, and this suddenly happened. It's very sad, it's shocking.
What police say they don't yet know is who fired the gun, what started the fight, or how the suspect got away.
Right now, the detectives are looking at the surveillance footage and trying to gather any witnesses or any information that would indicate how the suspect left the scene.
On December 8th, which was yesterday at 3:03 p.m., the Montgomery County Police Emergency Communications Center received a call for a shooting that had just occurred at the Shell gas station, also known as the Dash-In convenience store, located at 11150 New Hampshire Avenue in Silver Spring, Maryland. Upon arrival, officers located Ayalu Wandamu, an employee, behind the cash register counter suffering from multiple gunshot wounds to the chest. Wandamu was pronounced deceased on scene by Montgomery County Fire Rescue personnel. Detectives from our Major Crimes Division responded and conducted the investigation. The investigation determined that Wandamu, our victim, 61 years of age, was working behind the cash register counter when the suspect, later identified as Torrey Damien Moore, entered the Dash-In convenience store at 2:58 p.m. Moore selected a bottle of iced tea from the beverage cooler and approached the counter. We have video where we observed Moore approach the counter, take it to the clerk, Wandamu, and at which point in time we could tell that a verbal altercation was occurring. We then observed Moore pick up items from in front of the counter and began throwing them at the clerk. At this time, Wandamu picked up a metal pole, which was behind the counter, and attempted to strike Moore, who was on the other side of the counter. Moore stepped back, and for reasons unknown, he retrieved a silver handgun from his vest pocket, and he shot Wandamu at a point-blank range. He then reached over, Wandamu fell, at which point Moore, again senselessly, reached over the counter and fired multiple shots into Wandamu. Moore grabbed the bottle of iced tea and he exited the store. Moore was observed leaving the store and headed in the direction of the Enclave Apartments, which is across the street. Our major crimes detectives did excellent follow-up police work, and they were able to quickly identify Moore as our suspect, with positive identifications from several witnesses. Detectives from major crimes applied for and obtained an arrest warrant charging Torrey Moore, 31 years old, with first-degree murder and use of a firearm during the commission of a violent crime. Early this morning, members of the Montgomery County Police SWAT team executed a search warrant at Moore's residence in the Enclave Apartments, which is located in the 11200 block of New Hampshire Avenue. Moore was taken into custody without incident. Items of evidence, to include a 9mm handgun, were located and seized by detectives. When SWAT made entry, and after arresting Moore, they discovered a deceased female, believed to be an adult, on the floor in the apartment in an advanced stage of decomposition.
I don't like to think that happened in my building where I live.
Now at 11, an alarming discovery has families feeling uneasy in this Silver Spring community. Police finding a woman's decomposed body in an apartment, and investigators think she may have been pregnant. That body was discovered in the same apartment where police arrested this man for yesterday's murder at a gas station. Tonight, detectives have another possible mystery on their hands. 7 News' Kim Jackson has the latest developments.
The gas station where all of this happened remains closed tonight, but right across the street at this apartment complex is where police found the suspect and made that gruesome discovery, leaving residents there in shock.
That's why I pumped my gas. And I just can't believe what happened.
Neighbors didn't recognize 31-year-old Torrey Moore from the Enclave Apartments, and they could not believe that he's accused of killing the store clerk, 61-year-old Ayalu Wandamu, across the street.
I feel unsafe. I don't even know if I should live here. And I just signed a 2-year lease. It's unsafe. And I have a kid.
She feels unsafe because of what police say they found inside Moore's apartment, a woman's body badly decomposed. Police say Moore admitted the two had a fight a month ago that led to her death. No one we spoke to noticed anything strange or an odor until police removed the woman's body.
Discovery at a Montgomery County apartment building. Investigators say there were no complaints from neighbors despite a pregnant woman's decomposing body in a unit at the Enclave Apartments. But tonight, other tenants of the White Oak complex told us that's simply not true.
I've been putting requests into, everyone really has, but no one has done anything about them.
Says she's one of the people who live at the Enclave who complained, but has an idea of why there are no reports. She showed me screenshots of the resident portal, which said they were launching a new software system.
I think that is crazy because our portal to make requests has been down for 2 months. So even if there were requests, they could have just gone unnoticed or have not been documented.
Both tenants also shared management at the Enclave still have yet to notify them that a body was found where they live.
But I did give a call on Monday just to ask if they were going to put out a statement or anything. They told me to contact the local police department and they weren't going to put anything out about it.
He was found guilty today of the murder of Denise Middleton. She was 26 years old. She was 8.5 months pregnant at the time of her death. He was also found guilty of murder of a viable fetus. I will tell you, to my knowledge, that is the first time in the history of Montgomery County that we've had a conviction for murder of a viable fetus.
I'm gonna miss my baby and never get the chance to meet my grandson. I'm not a man that likes to cry, but it'll be missed, all right?
My baby sister Denise was a loving and caring person, excited to have her first child, Ezekiel. It is unbelievable that she will never have that opportunity.
We didn't lose her, we were robbed of her, we were robbed of Ezekiel, and we are just happy today that justice was served.
I'm happy that we got justice. I'm happy that everybody who was on the case was on the case. And I just want to let the world know that my cousin was loved.
It's been a month since Denise Middleton's body was found here at the Enclave Apartments, and her family just cannot believe that this is how her story ended. Her family just wants people to know that Dee Dee, which is what they called her, was so loved and couldn't wait to be a mom.
When we heard how badly decomposed her body was, it was just unbelievable to believe that we had been living our lives for that long and not knowing that she was dead.
26-year-old Denise Middleton was nearly 9 months pregnant when her decomposing body was found at this apartment complex in White Oak, Maryland. Tempress Middleton says she grew up in the same household as Denise, and they were more like sisters than cousins and couldn't wait to be boy moms together. Denise planned to name her baby Ezekiel.
I was taken aback by it because she was just preparing for her baby to be born. And at the time, the last time we spoke to her, she was in New York.
Trying to run away from her boyfriend, father of her son, and suspected killer Torrey Moore. Moore was already wanted for an aggravated assault charge on Denise from Norfolk, Virginia.
Myself as being a victim of domestic violence myself, sometimes you could sometimes you isolate yourself from the people who love you most and you don't give the full story for people to help you.
When police found Denise's body, they say it was in advanced stages of decomposition. She was shot 7 times. Tempress says her family just can't believe that no one reported the smell or heard the gunshots.
By them not having a way for people to report and them not following up on reports have just put us in a situation where we couldn't even have a visual of her body for our funeral. She had to be cremated, so that's just robbing us of even giving her a proper goodbye.
By the time police walked through the door of that apartment on December 9th, 2022, Denise Middleton had been lying on that floor for 2 months. 2 months. She was found under a blanket in the bedroom, in what investigators described as an advanced state of decomposition. She had been shot 7 times. 7. And the baby she was carrying, baby Ezekiel, was, according to the medical examiner, fully viable. He could have survived outside the womb. He had every chance at life. And both of them were taken in that apartment on Oak Leaf Drive on the night of October 9th. Torrey Moore was arrested the day before Denise was found. picked up in connection with the murder of 61-year-old Ayalu Wondimu, a gas station clerk who had simply gone to work on December 8th. A man who had done nothing wrong. A man who tried to defend himself when Moore came into that store looking for a confrontation, and paid for it with his life. Moore shot him multiple times, then picked up an iced tea and walked out like nothing happened. 3 lives, 3 human beings, gone. When Moore was taken into custody, he waived his rights and began making statements. He admitted he had been in a relationship with the woman found in his apartment. He admitted she was 8 months pregnant. His phone told investigators arrest. Searches like, how long does it take for a dead body to smell, and how to move a dead body without being seen. He had also researched how to plead insanity. This was not a man in shock. This was not a man who panicked. This was a man who made choices, one after another, for 2 straight months, about how to protect himself while Denise and Ezekiel lay forgotten in that room. 2 separate juries saw through everything. In May 2024, Moore was convicted of the first-degree murder of Ayalu Wondimu. In November 2024, a second jury convicted him of 2 counts of first-degree murder for Denise and for Ezekiel. That second conviction made history. It was the first time in Montgomery County that anyone had ever been convicted of the murder of a viable fetus. And in June 2025, a Montgomery County judge sentenced Torrey Damien Moore to 3 consecutive life sentences, plus an additional 80 years in prison. He will die behind bars. The state's attorney, John McCarthy, said it plainly after the verdict. This story is awful. There is no way to slice it. This is a terrible case. He was right. But I need you to hear something before we close this out. Something the family said, because they said it better than anyone ever could. Denise's cousin Taylor stood outside that courthouse and said, "We didn't lose her. We were robbed of her. We were robbed of Ezekiel." And her cousin Tempress, the one who was supposed to be in the Boy Mom Club with Denise, she talked about how, because of the condition of Denise's body, the family couldn't even have a proper burial for her. They couldn't say goodbye the way she deserved. Denise had to be cremated. That was something else Moore took from them. Something no sentence, no verdict, no courtroom can ever give back. Denise's sister Chinita said her little sister was a loving and caring person, someone who was so excited to have her first child. It is unbelievable, she said, that she will never have that opportunity. And the family's statement to the public ended with 4 words that should echo in all of us. #ProtectBlackWomen. Because Denise was not the first. And the court records show that Moore had a prior assault charge involving Denise from Norfolk, Virginia. The last time her cousin spoke to her, Denise was in New York, trying to get away from him. She was trying to leave. She was trying to find her peace. Her cousin Tempress said that Denise desired peace more than anything. She deserved it. She deserved every bit of it. Denise Middleton was funny. She was witty. She was warm. She was a woman who made sure you knew she loved you. She was going to be somebody's mother. Ezekiel was going to have someone in his corner for the rest of his life. And Ayalu Wondimu, 61 years old, was going to go home after his shift. He had a family, too. He had a life, too. And he was taken by the same man in the same season of brutality. Justice came. But justice doesn't erase absence. It doesn't fill the seat at the table. It doesn't bring back the laugh or the outfit or the boy mom text messages that were never sent. What it does is say, loudly on the record, permanently, that their lives mattered, that Denise mattered, that Ezekiel mattered, that Ayalu mattered. Now I'm asking you to say it too. Share this video. Not for the algorithm. For Denise. For every woman who is trying to find her way out of something dangerous right now and doesn't know if anyone is paying attention. Share it so she knows someone is. Leave a comment below. What do you think justice really looks like in a case like this? Does 3 life sentences feel like enough? I want to hear your thoughts. And if this video moved you at all, if you sat with this story and felt something, please like it and subscribe. Because this channel is committed to making sure these stories are told with the weight they deserve. Denise's story will not be reduced to a headline. Not here. Rest in power. Denise Middleton. Rest in peace. Ezekiel. And rest in peace. Ayalu Wondimu. We see you. We hear you. And we will not forget you.